Modern men aren't weak because the world is too harsh. They're weak because they've softened themselves, little by little, through procrastination, excuses, and compromise with mediocrity. They run from discomfort, fear truth, and live like tomorrow is guaranteed. But none of us are immortal, and there's no such thing as being ready. In this video, you won't hear hollow motivation. Instead, you'll face 3 punches to the mind. 3 stoic exercises simple enough to grasp, but powerful enough to wake you the hell up from a half-lived life. This isn't for the weak. If you're ready to stop and start living like a man who means something, keep watching. But fair warning, it's going to make you uncomfortable. That's a good thing. If you feel the positive energy, don't forget to like this video and share a meaningful comment. You're gonna die. Not if, when, and no, it won't wait for your schedule. It won't pause for you to hit your goals. It won't hold off until you feel ready. Death has zero interest in syncing up with your life plan. That's the truth, an inconvenient one that the world tries desperately to avoid, with anti-aging hacks, juice cleanses, glittery self-love meditation videos, and YouTube gurus whispering, "You are the light of the universe." But guess what? No matter how clean you eat, how long you sit cross-legged, how many times you affirm, "I am enough," death is coming. Every second, every breath, every heartbeat brings you closer. And there's no guarantee you'll live to see old age. You might not even make it through this year. But you live like that's not true. You set alarms, you make 5-year plans, you put off your dreams because now's not the time. You avoid hard conversations, you don't apologize to the ones who deserve it. You don't say "I love you" to the ones who need to hear it. You burn through time like you've got a never-ending supply. And one day, you'll drop dead, with nothing left to say. Stoicism doesn't show up to comfort you. It doesn't tell you everything's going to be okay. It doesn't baby you with soft reassurance. It slaps you across the face and says, "Wake up, you're living like you're immortal." Marcus Aurelius, emperor, warrior, philosopher, wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Not good in a fake moralistic way. Good as in urgent. Good as in focused. Good as in present, because your time is running out. You could die from a freak accident, a silent heart attack, or some sudden twist that gives no warning. If that happens tomorrow, could you look back at your life without shame? Would you die with honor, or with debt, regret, and a pile of "I'll finish it later"? Seriously imagine it. Tomorrow morning, you don't wake up. That's it. No chance to change. No more time to hug your kid you swore you'd spend more time with. No more chasing what you really wanted because you spent your best years doing what was safe. That dream of yours never brought to life, now buried in the casket with you. Stoicism forces you to picture that. Not to scare you, to sober you. Memento Mori, remember you will die, is not some dark mantra. It's a wake-up call. It's a reminder that time is your most precious asset, and you're spending it like a damn fool. You procrastinate because you think you're entitled to time. You think you need to prepare more. You think there will be a better time to start. You think tomorrow will be just like today, and next week will still be there. That's the illusion of men who live halfway. The truth is, no one owes you tomorrow. No one owes you another shot. Life isn't a contract. It's a flame, and you don't know when it'll burn out. Visualizing death isn't a thought exercise. It's psychological surgery. It slices through your pride, your laziness, your victimhood, all the comfortable lies you've been hiding behind. It peels off the mask you wear every day to cover up the fact that you're scared. Scared to fail. Scared to be judged, scared to really try, and above all, scared to really live. What would you do if you had 24 hours left? The old question. But your answer tells you how you should live today. If you'd call your mother, call her. If you'd start that book, stop waiting. If you'd quit pretending to love that job you hate, it's time to stop pretending. You don't need permission to live honestly. You just need to realize time is killing you, very politely. A Stoic trains for death every day. Not out of fear, out of readiness, out of ownership. He doesn't beg for an easy life. He prays for the strength to walk through the hard one with dignity. And if today is his last day, he leaves nothing behind but honor. Are you living like you're dying? Or are you still waiting for a sign from the universe to take your life seriously? Answer that question with action, with how you spend today, because you don't know how many chances you've got left to get it right. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. It's the best way to support me in creating more valuable content. Modern people spend their entire lives avoiding pain. They treat it like an enemy, something to remove, dodge, or medicate. And that's exactly why they're weak. They're hypersensitive to the smallest friction. They need a safe space because someone said something they didn't like. They panic at rejection, collapse at failure, or lose it when life doesn't follow their script. They live inside a glass cage called comfort, a sweet kind of prison that strips them of the strength to handle anything real. Stoic philosophy doesn't negotiate with that mindset. It has no space for men chasing ease. A Stoic doesn't wait for pain to show up. He walks into it. He seeks the difficult. He trains in adversity, like a soldier drilling in desert heat before the war even begins. Not because he's some masochist looking to suffer, but because he understands that inner strength is never born in comfort. Epictetus, a slave who became a philosopher, once said, "You will become invincible if you never enter into any contest in which victory is not under your control." But to become that man, you must train. And that training doesn't happen in the gym. It happens in the everyday, when you choose the hard path over the easy one, when you face instead of flee, when you willingly place yourself in discomfort just to grow stronger. You want discipline? Then start by doing what you don't want to do every day. No need to go extreme. You don't have to shave your head and meditate in the mountains. Just choose one action daily that your weak side wants to avoid. Get out of bed the second the alarm goes off. Take a cold shower instead of a hot one. Speak the truth instead of keeping quiet to keep the peace. Decline the invite to drink because you're on a mission. Each act is a small victory over yourself, and every victory costs discomfort, but you'll grow, you'll change, you'll harden. If you don't choose pain, life will shove it down your throat in ways far more brutal. That's a law. The men who don't train in peacetime fall apart in war. The ones who always take the easy road never make it when things get hard. And then what do? Complain, blame, hate life, hate others. But they'll never admit the truth that they made themselves weak. Voluntary suffering is how you kill the victim in you. It shifts you from being reactive to being in control. It teaches you that no one is coming to save you. There is no magic course that will heal you if you won't face your pain head on. No philosophy will save you if all you do is nod at quotes but never sweat in the real world. Pain won't destroy you. It will destroy your weaker self. It will burn off the illusion that you're capable, deserving, or whole just because you know how to say nice things online. It wipes away the fake. It leaves behind only the real you, the version that shows up when you're hungry, rejected, broke, freezing, ashamed, alone. Can you look yourself in the eye in those moments? Stoicism doesn't teach you to run from fear. It forces you to stare straight into it, and then walk through. Not to prove how tough you are, but to discover who you really are. Because only when you willingly step into pain will you know how far you can endure. Only when you push your limits will you understand what freedom actually means. You can start today. No declarations, no audience. Just you, knowing, and doing. Fast for a day. Run a long loop while it's raining. Write 3 pages in a journal instead of scrolling on your phone. Wake up early and work in silence with no one watching. These are small things, but real change always starts small. When you choose discomfort, you send a message to your mind. I'm not running anymore, I'm ready. And that's when you start becoming a real man. Not because you're jacked, not because you're rich, not because you have followers, but because you control yourself. Because you don't need to be coddled to do what's right. Because you understand, discipline is the only thing that separates a man from a boy who refuses to grow up. Life has no obligation to be easy, but you can get stronger. Don't wait for pain to come knocking. Go looking for it. Invite it in. Make it your teacher, not your enemy. And one day you'll look back on all the hard days, the ones where you fought your laziness, your fear, your softness, and you'll be grateful. Because it made you into a man who cannot be broken, even when the whole world falls apart. You think you know yourself? You don't. You're just used to the version of yourself you tell yourself every day. The comfortable little story where every mistake has a reasonable excuse, every stagnation is understandable, and every failure is simply bad timing. You're better at rationalizing than you think. And if there's no one standing in front of you to slap that delusion out of your mouth, then you better do it yourself. In one way only, by writing down the naked truth about yourself with no escape hatch. This isn't your typical, "today I'm feeling sad" journal entry. It's not your $10 self-love affirmations in notebook form. This is psychological surgery with no anesthesia. It's the moment you drag your raw self out of the shadows and face it under a harsh white light. No masks, no filters, no fake positivity. Just one question: who the hell am I when no one's watching? The exercise is simple, but most men don't have the balls to do it. Every day, sit down and write 3 of the most brutal truths about yourself. No sugarcoating, no justifying, no "well, here's why" excuses, no blaming. Just truth, cold, dry, and exposed under the light where ego can't survive. Examples? I'm broke because I'm lazy and spend like an idiot. I don't have close friends because I'm selfish and only think about myself. I don't have a girlfriend because I'm weak, bring no value, and don't know how to love anyone besides this wreck of a self-image. That's truth. It's not pretty, but it's the only thing sharp enough to wake you the hell up. Most men live blind their entire lives, not because they don't have eyes, but because they refuse to look. They're terrified of admitting they're soft. They panic at the thought that they might be the root of their own misery. But what they fear most is realizing their life is rotting day by day under the weight of their own lies. You can't change what you won't confront. You can't grow if you keep telling yourself you're doing fine. You don't get to demand respect from others if you don't even have the guts to face the truth about yourself. Writing the truth is a form of emotional control. Yes, it hurts, but it's pain with a purpose. Pain that wakes you up, pain that leads to action. It pulls you from drifting like a passive victim into becoming a warrior with a damn plan. You'll stop asking vague questions like, "Why am I not improving?" because you'll have written it down clearly. I'm not improving because I sleep in, I break promises, I talk a big game but do nothing. And once that's on the page, every illusion shatters. And strangely enough, you begin to see the path forward. Stoicism is obsessed with knowing yourself. But not in the "I'm a Capricorn and I like stability" nonsense. That's trash. Knowing yourself means knowing where you're dirty, where you're weak, where you fold. Marcus Aurelius wrote nightly, not to feel good, but to self-audit. Did I act with reason today? Did I let emotions run the show? Did I react like an idiot? That's why he stayed grounded, even as an emperor. Think you're tough? Try writing this. I'm jealous of my friend because he's successful and I'm not. Try this. I blame my parents for my failure, but I've had chances. I just didn't do shit. If you can write that without slamming your keyboard in rage, you've started to enter the realm of real honesty, the place where actual men are forged. The truth will crush your ego, but in the ashes, you'll find a foundation. No more illusions, no more roleplay, just reality and a clear, brutal will to rise. You don't need anyone to tell you you're messing up. You feel it every morning in the emptiness, every night before sleep when the questions echo but never get answered. And you drown it out with another video, another drink, another meaningless chat. You bury it, and it grows into paralysis. Then one day you wake up and ask, "Why am I not happy?" Because you've built a life made of lies. Stop living like that. Pick up a pen. Write what you're too afraid to say out loud. Write everything you're ashamed of, and face it. No one else needs to see it, but you need to. You need to hear the real voice inside you, not the sweet distractions from outside. Writing the truth is the first step to rebuilding your life. From there, you can finally identify what needs fixing, what habits need killing, what dream you buried under excuses. And then, you start acting, not because you feel inspired, but because you can't stand living in the lie one more day. True freedom doesn't come from doing what you love. It comes from knowing who you are and choosing to become better every damn day. But to know who you are, you have to pick up the pen and face it. No fluff, no fake depth. Just you, a blank page, and the truths no one else will say except you. You don't need more knowledge. You don't need more advice. What you need is a reason big enough to stop and start living with meaning. From now on, no more excuses, no more blaming, no more hiding. Everything you need to change is already there. A brain that still works, a heart that still beats, and just enough courage to face yourself without flinching. Death is coming, whether you like it or not. Pain isn't going away. It just changes form. And the truth is always there, waiting for you to be honest enough to see it. The 3 things you just read aren't self-help exercises. They're warnings. They're reminders that you've been playing small for too damn long, that you've been postponing the man you know you could become. No one's holding you back, except you. And there is no greater enemy than the version of you that keeps settling. No one's coming to save you, but no one can stop you from rising either. Life is an unannounced test, and every passing day is an opportunity you won't get back. Ask yourself, how much longer do you plan to live like this? Another year? 5? Until you run out of time to fix it? Then get up, do the hard thing, face the mirror, and begin again. Not for anyone else, but because you're sick of your own bullshit. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.